ਗੁਰਪੁਰ ਮੇਰੀ ਰਾਖ ਲਈ। ਸਾਰੇ ਆਖੋ ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ 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 ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ। हे ਕਲਗੀਧਰ ਪਿਤਾ ਜੀ, ਆਪ ਜੀ ਦੀ ਸਾਖੀ ਸੁਣਨ ਜਾ ਰਹੇ ਹਾਂ। ਮਹਾਰਾਜ ਕਿਰਪਾ ਕਰਨੀ ਸੱਚੇ ਪਾਤਸ਼ਾਹ, ਹਾਜ਼ਰ ਨਾਜ਼ਰ ਹੋ ਕੇ ਆਪ ਇਹ ਸਾਖੀ ਬੋਲ ਕੇ ਸਾਨੂੰ ਸੁਣਾਓ ਜੀ। This is a young child. A young child is standing. It's the middle of the night, a night like this. The stars are shining. The moon is out. This young child is only 9 years old. I want you to paint this in your head, no questions anymore. I want to paint this in your head right now. A child 9 years old. There's a fire. And there's 6 Sanghtas standing with that child, waiting. They're waiting for someone to come. In the distance, a horse can be heard. Someone on a horse is coming. You can hear the horse is galloping, it's moving. 20 feet away, a man comes on a horse. He gets off the horse. He's holding something in his hands. He's holding something in his hands. As he comes closer, his head is pointed at the floor. He's holding something in his hands. He's holding it like if it's so precious. Like if it's some kind of jewel. It's like if it's some kind of gold. Sare akho Vaheguru. Vaheguru. Like I said before, these sakhiyan require your attention. They require your every single bit. Because when we talk about these sakhiyan, it's not just entertainment. There's a purpose behind them. Like I said, the Shaheed Singhs, they come and listen to these sakhiyan. So please pay attention. As the man approaches the fire, you can see there's something wrapped up inside. That person's hands are colored in red. It looks like there's blood dried up on the hands. Who is this person? His name is Bhai Jetaji. Bhai Jetaji comes, he goes on his knee and he places whatever he has in his hands in front of that child. That child is no one else besides Guru Gobind Singh Ji. When they were 9 years old, they were called Guru Gobind Rai. Bhai Jetaji holds something in his hands, he pushes it forward. Tears come out of his eyes. And he says, Maharaj, today history repeated itself. Maharaj, today history repeated itself. One day your grandfather was standing right there. When your grandfather heard the news of their father becoming Shaheed. And today Bhai Jetaji says, O Bal Guru Gobind Singh Ji, Guru Gobind Rai Ji, today I bring you the news that your father has passed away, they become Shaheed. In Chandni Chowk, Delhi, your father has given their head. And later this child will write, in their Bani they write, Tilak Janju Rakha Prabh Taka, Kino Kalu Badu Main Saka, Sadhan Het Iti Jin Kari, Sees Diya Par Si Na Uchri. That child will write about their father, Guru Tegh Bahadur Ji. They will say that he's given their head for humanity. They're giving their head for someone else's dharam. They're giving their cease. But see, not uchiri, but in their mouth, they did not want to say hi. They did not want to cry out. Sangat ji, we're blessed to be a part of that qawm that sits on fire and never cries out. We're blessed to be part of that qawm that sits in the thanda burj and never cry. Guru Gobind Rai Ji Maharaj takes what was covered up into their hands. They open it up layer by layer. That clothing is filled with blood. As they open it up layer by layer, they slowly start to see the case of their father, the mucha, the beard. As they open up another layer, they see their lips. As they open it up, they see the Pavitra cease of Guru Tegh Bahadur Ji Maharaj. Guru Tegh Bahadur Ji Maharaj was beheaded in Delhi, was made shaheed. That cease, that Pavitra cease is now being held by Guru Gobind Rai. As they look into the eyes of their own father, they can see what their grandfather experienced. Guru Gobind Rai Ji's grandfather is who? Who is their grandfather? Guru Har Gobind Ji Maharaj, Sheme Pasha. This is a lineage of shaheeds. You gotta understand this. Sheme Pasha, Guru Har Gobind Ji, what happens in their story? Guru Har Gobind Ji Maharaj was 11 years old. 11 ਸਾਲ ਦੇ ਸੀ ਛੇਵੇਂ ਪਾਤਸ਼ਾਹ ਜਦੋਂ Guru Arjan Dev Ji Maharaj ਸ਼ਹੀਦ ਹੋਏ. When Guru Arjan Dev Ji Maharaj became shaheed, they were only 11 years old. In Lahore, there's still that place where Guru Arjan Dev Ji Maharaj became shaheed. These places are still preserved in Lenda, Punjab, in Western Punjab, which is known today as Pakistan. Guru Har Gobind Ji Maharaj, Sheme Pasha, when they brought the news that your father has now become shaheed, Guru Arjan Dev Ji has become shaheed. At that moment, our Itihas writes that Guru Har Gobind Ji Maharaj, their eyes become red. They become enraged. Their muscles start shaking. And they roar. They say, that person who is responsible for the shaheedi of my father, his name was Chandu. That person, I'll grab his arms. I'll arrest him and I'll bring justice to my father. And if I can't do that, I am doshi. If I cannot avenge my father's death, then I am doshi. This is what our history writes. Guru Har Gobind Ji Maharaj at the age of 11, they make a alan, they make this decree that, oh Sikh Sangto, it is now time. And make no mistake, what the Guru does next, Guru Arjan Dev Ji Maharaj had prescribed themselves. Guru Arjan Dev Ji Maharaj ne kya si? Tell my child, tell my son, Guru Har Gobind Ji, what to do next. You must now keep arms, shastatari hona. You must now keep a fauj rakhni hai, Ghod karni hai. Now's your time to do dharam yudh. Hun sama aaya dharam yudh da. Guru Arjan Dev Ji Maharaj had already told this in their passing. Guru Har Gobind Ji Maharaj sets up a takht, which is called Akal Takht. And they start preparing for a battle. They start preparing for a war. And Sangat ji, make no mistake, this relationship between the enemies at play and the Gurus have been starting from day one. Apa Guru Nanak Dev Ji Maharaj Guru Nanak Dev Ji Maharaj da itihas wal chat mariye. When Guru Nanak Dev Ji Maharaj was traveling in India, a person from Afghanistan, from Kabul, came to attack. His name was Babur. Babur came from Afghanistan, from Kabul. He came to loot India. When he came, Guru Nanak Dev Ji Maharaj stood in that arena that was happening, that battle that was happening between the Mughals and the people of India. And they write about that. That Bani that you hear, Jaisi mein aave khasam ki Bani, in that Shabad, Guru Nanak Dev Ji Maharaj describes what happens at that time period. Guru Nanak Dev Ji Maharaj says that in that time, when the Mughals came to attack India for the first time, when Babur came for the first time, they killed so many different people. They killed Hindus, they killed Musliman, Bibiyan as well. They didn't care, because Sassangat tyranny doesn't have a religion. Oppression doesn't have a faith. It has one objective, and that is to destroy and to bring down humanity. Guru Nanak Dev Ji Maharaj at that moment spoke up, and they say, Babur, tu Jabbar aa. Babur means Sher. Babbar jinu aap kande hain. Babur means Sher. Maharaj said, you're not a Babur, you're a Jabbar. Jabbar means Jabbar karan wala, takka karan wala, the person who oppresses someone else, the person who puts down someone else. They said, tu ta sherni, huh? You're not a lion. A lion is ferocious. A lion is courageous. A lion is brave. You're not brave, you're a coward. You're putting innocent people down. When Guru Nanak Dev Ji spoke that to Jabbar, they arrested him. They arrested Guru Nanak Dev Ji. They put him into a jail. How many of you know that? Your Guru stood up. Your Guru stood up against oppression. And for that, they were jailed. When they were in a jail cell, Guru Sahib Ji started singing Gurbani. They started singing the Mool Mantra, they started singing Simran. And at that time period, the people who were in the jail, the inmates, they were given chakkiyan. Chakkiyan are these, you don't see them anymore, but they're these, when you move them, it's called a mill. You could grind flour and you could grind grains and no more questions and make it into flours. All the inmates had those chakkiyan to turn around over and over again. That was their job. Because in a jail cell, inmates are given things to do. When Guru Nanak Dev Ji Maharaj sang their Shabad, all the chakkiyan started moving by themselves. When Babur found out that the person they arrested is some kind of person who has miracles, who might be a spiritual being, he said, I gotta go meet this person. He comes to Guru Nanak Dev Ji, he releases them from the prison, and he says, O Darvesh, O Wali, O Peer, mere ko galti ho gaya. I didn't realize you are a spiritual being. Forgive me. I wish to take over India. I wish to take over this land. Grant me your blessings. Our Itihas writes that Guru Nanak Dev Ji told Babur कि तेरी 7 पीढ़ियां राज करेंगी, that you will have 7 generations that will rule over India. Why did Guru Nanak Dev Ji do this? Because Sad Sangat Ji, जो शरण आए तिस कंठ लाए, भावें किन्ना वड्डा पापी होवे, भावें किन्ना वड्डा हत्याचार होवे, it doesn't matter who that person is. When they come to the sharan of Guru Nanak Dev Ji, Guru Nanak Dev Ji Maharaj forgives them. It might be hard for us to understand, but सानू नहीं पता गुरु दा हिरदा किन्ना विशाल है. We don't know how big the heart of the Guru is. Guru da hirda has no seema, it has no limits. Guru da hirda aseem hai. Maharaj has so much love that they take in everyone. Just like this fire. This fire does not judge us. It doesn't say that tu papiyan, tenu garmi nahi milni, tenu You're not gonna get this warmth. Tu punniya tenu e roshni milegi. No. The fire doesn't judge. It gives all of us heat. It gives all of us warmth. It gives all of us light. The Guru is the same. The Guru gives anyone warmth, anyone light that comes near them. When Babur said, Maharaj, Minu Raj Baksho, our history says that Guru Nanak Dev Ji said, Tere 7 peediyan Raj karengiyan. But when that day comes, when your generations, when your aulad, ਜਦੋਂ ਇਹ ਤੇਰੀ ਔਲਾਦ ਗੂ ਦੇ ਘਰ ਨੂੰ ਪਿੱਠ ਮੋੜੇਗੀ ਔਰ ਆਪਾਂ ਇਹ ਰਾਜ ਆਪਣਾ ਸਿਰ ਦੇ ਕੇ ਲੈ ਲੈਂਗੇ. Guru said, when you said that, when your generations that come forward, when they turn their back onto the Guru's house, then we'll take that Raj back. During Babur's time, it was Guru Nanak Dev Ji. During Guru Angad Dev Ji's time, it was Hamanyu. During Guru Amar Das Ji's time, it was Akbar. Guru Ram Das Ji's time, it was Jahangir. As the Mughal Empire grew, the Guruship grew as well. When it was Jahangir's time, that's when things got shaky. Before then, it was some sort of comfortable relationship between the two empires. The Mughal Empire remembered that because of this Guru house, because of the house of Guru Nanak, we have gotten this Raj. But as time progressed, they forgot. And Sadhu Sangat ji, aapa bhi bhul jante hain. We forget as well कि सानू देन वाला गुरु है. ਆਪਾਂ ਵੀ ਭੁੱਲ ਜਾਂਦੇ ਹਾਂ. ਆਪਾਂ ਵੀ ਸੋਚਣ ਲੱਗ ਪੈਂਦੇ ਹਾਂ ਕਿ ਆਪਾਂ ਹੀ ਆਪਣੇ ਪਰਿਵਾਰ ਨੂੰ ਪਾਲ ਰਹੇ ਹਾਂ. We start think that we are everything, we are doing everything ourselves. But then the Guru shows us कि ਸਿੱਖਾ ਭੁੱਲੀ ਨਾ. ਤੂੰ ਤਾਂ ਹੀ ਬੋਲ ਰਿਹਾ ਕਿਉਂਕਿ ਮੈਂ ਤੇਰੇ ਤੋਂ ਵਿੱਚ ਆਵਾਜ਼ ਨਿਕਾਲ ਰਿਹਾ. You can only think because the Guru makes you think. You can only see because the Guru gives you the light to see. You can only speak because the Guru gives you the mouth to speak. When someone forgets the blessings that the Guru gives us, slowly we forget. Then we fall off that path and there's nothing good that can happen to us. When the Mughal Empire started forgetting, that's when the Shahidis start. That's when Guru Arjan Dev Ji Maharaj gives their Shahidi. As time progressed, Guru Har Gobind Ji Maharaj's Sena, they created an army called the Akal Sena. Slowly, we come back to that scene of Gobind Rai with the cease of their father in their hands. The scene we started off with. Now Guruji has a big decision to make. How to move forward. They remember the stories, the Sakhis they've heard about their grandfather, about their father they've seen themselves. And they're ready to lead the Panth forward. Sadhu Sangat Ji, before we continue, I want you guys to sing that Shabad with me one more time. And as we sing that Shabad, try to capture that scene in your mind of Guru Gobind Ji, Guru Gobind Rai, with the cease of their father in their hands. Gorapura meri rakh lai, Gorapura meri rakh lai, Gorapura जी गोरपुरा मेरी राख लई, गोरपुरा मेरी राख लई. गुरपुर मेरी राख लई, गुरपुर मेरी राख लई। अमृत नाम हृदय महदीनो, अमृत नाम, अमृत नाम हृदय महदीनो, अमृत नाम। जन्म जन्म की मैल गई, जन्म जन्म की मैल गई, जप लो जन्म। गुरपुर मेरी राख लई, गुरपुर मेरी राख लई। I want you to imagine that scene of Baba Fateh Singh Ji sitting in that Thanda Burj. As they sit there, they look at their grandmother's face, Mata Gujri Ji. They look at her eyes. Mata Gujri Ji has tears coming out of her eyes. And they say, "Oh mere lalo, mere pyareo, tanu dekh ke mera hirda Paramatma nu yaad karda. Seeing you, I remember God. Your faces hold so much innocence." Saad Sangat Ji, this is Baba Fateh Singh Ji. When Guru Gobind Singh Ji Maharaj wants to test the Gursikhs, they looked at their Singhs and said, "Singho, aaj mainu Akal Purkh Vaheguru Ji da Akali Swarup dikhao. Show me Vaheguru Ji's form, their Akali form, their timeless form." They say at that moment, all the Singhs, they were looking around, they said, "What does Maharaj mean?" At that moment, Baba Fateh Singh Ji goes to their room and they tie a huge damala. And they come out with this Neela Bana, this Neela Dastar, damala on their face. And Guru Gobind Singh Maharaj stands up and said, "Look, that is Vaheguru Ji's Akali Swarup." That Baba Fateh Singh Ji, in their eyes, holds a huge mystery. What does a 5-year-old hold in his heart that Saad Singh Ji we can learn from today? That 5-year-old holds Shraddha, faith. That 5-year-old holds himmat, courage. That 5-year-old holds valor, dharam. And above all, prem for Sache Pasha. The Mughal Empire and the Pahadi Raje. There are 22 Pahadi Raje, Bhai Subiyan de Raje si. These Pahadi Raje, they have their first battle with Guru Gobind Singh Ji when Maharaj was the age of 17. At a place called Pagani, Guru Gobind Singh Ji Maharaj has their first battle. But why does that battle take place? Well, Sache Pasha writes about it themselves. There was someone named Fateh Chand. Fateh Chand was a Shraddhalu of Guru Gobind Singh Ji Maharaj. Fateh Chand's daughter was going to marry another Raja whose name was Bhim Chand. These were two of the 22 Raje. Bhim Chand and Fateh Chand. their kids were going to marry each other. Bhim Chand was jealous of Guru Gobind Singh Ji. Guru Kalgitar Pitaji, in their darbar, they had so many rare possessions, from the Prashadi Hathi to the Panchkala Shastar, all these different type of gifts that were given to them by the Sangat. These Pahari Raje, they were jealous of them, especially this person named Bhim Chand. Guru Kalgitar Pitaji writes in their To Prasad Svaiye, a Bani which we read every single day, addressing to these Pahari Raje. They say, Mate matang jade jar sang. They say, you are intoxicated. You're intoxicated of your ego. You're intoxicated of your possessions. Anup otang surang savare. Guru Kalgitar Pitaji says, you have all these different possessions. You have horses that can run so fast. You have these shastras that are so sharp. But you have forgotten something. That at the very end, when your time comes and you have to leave this world, they say, Antako nange pae padare. That at the very end of your life, you have to leave barefoot. These Pahari Raje, they did not understand this concept. Bhim Chand was Hankari. When his son was going to marry the daughter of Fateh Chand, Guru Gobind Singh Maharaj sent some gifts to Fateh Chand for his marriage, for his daughter's marriage. When those gifts came, Bhim Chand told Fateh Chand that you cannot accept these gifts from the Guru because Sadi Dona di Bandi nahi gi. We don't like Guru Gobind Singh Ji. If you accept these gifts, the marriage is off. We won't let your daughter get married to my son. Fateh Chand at that point, he gives up and he says, okay, take the gifts away. He denies the gifts. And those Sikhs that brought the gifts to Fateh Chand, the Pahari Raja then attacked those Sikhs. When the attack is done, Guru Gobind Singh Maharaj sends more Sana to help out, and they themselves come. That is the battle of Pugani. It's near Ponta Sahib, that Tarti, which that battle took place. Guruji writes in their own Bani, they said, without any reason, these people started to fight me. Without any reason, they attacked my Sikhs. The only reason was that they were Hankari, that they could not bear that the Guru's darbar was so beautiful and so vast. As time progresses, these Pahari Raje, they get more and more hurt because every time they attacked the Guru, they got put in their spots. They got put where they need to be put. Slowly the time comes of 1704. Anandpur Sahib di Tarti, the Pahari Raje had enough. They contact the Mughal Empire, who was Aurangzeb at this time. They say, Aurangzeb, ਇਹ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਦਰਵੇਸ਼ ਹੈ ਬਹੁਤ ਦੇਰ ਦਾ ਤੰਗ ਕੀਤਾ ਹੋਇਆ ਇਹਨੇ ਸਾਨੂੰ ਸਾਡੀ ਥਾਂ ਵਿੱਚ ਰਹਿ ਕੇ ਨਾ ਸਾਨੂੰ ਟੈਕਸ ਦੇ ਰਿਹਾ ਉਤੋਂ ਸਾਨੂੰ ਤੰਗ ਕਰਦਾ ਪਿਆ. They talk about Guru Gobind Singh Ji and they say that this person, this darwish, this guru, this fakir, he's bothering us. He doesn't pay his taxes, he sits on this land. He says it's his land. He plays the nagara, he plays the shank, he wears a damala, he keeps an army. We need to get rid of him. We need to attack Anandpur Sahib Darbar. The Mughal Empire agrees, and they say they send thousands upon thousands of enemy soldiers. The Pahari Raje have thousands upon thousands of enemy soldiers themselves. They come, they surround Anandpur Sahib. Anandpur Sahib that time had 6 to 7 kille. Lohgarh, Taragarh, Anandgarh, Kesgarh, all these kille, all these places were strategically put so that Guru can fight these enemies. So when the enemy soldiers came and they surrounded Anandpur Sahib, they couldn't get through the defenses of Guru Gobind Singh Ji. They couldn't get through the kille points that Guru Sahib had laid out. What did they do? The enemy soldiers, they cut off the water supply. The water that went into Anandpur Sahib, they cut that off. They closed those rivers. They cut off the food supply. All the food that was going into Anandpur Sahib, they cut that off as well. Because you got to remember, Anandpur Sahib was a huge city. There were civilians, there were soldiers, there were poets, there were scholars, there were philosophers that were living in Anandpur Sahib. Guru Kalgitar Pitaji ne 29 saal vaste Anandpur Darbar chalaya. Guru set up their own library. For 29 years, they used the pen. They called in scholars, philosophers, researchers from all around. They patronized them. They said, come, translate all these different texts, these different traditions that you carry from your backgrounds and write them in Gurmukhi. At that time, there was a Granth being made called the Vidya Sagar Granth. It was a voluminous Granth. And within there was so many different backgrounds, so many different things being translated. From Sufi backgrounds, from Vedic backgrounds, from Puranic backgrounds, from the Quranic backgrounds. All these different types will be translated in the Guru's Darbar. So the Guru was not just the master of the sword, they were a master of the pen as well. They cut off the food supplies, they cut off the water supplies. People living in Anandpur Sahib had to go scarce with food and water. Weeks go by. Weeks turn into months. When a month or two goes by, the Singh say, Maharaj, ki hukam hai? What should we do? Should we go out and destroy these people? Should we break their arms? Should we break their necks? The Guru said, wait. We have to use the Raniti, the political way here of waiting. Slowly, where prashadi were made 3 times a day, they turned into 2 times a day. Slowly, prashadi went from 2 to 1 time a day. Slowly, prashadi became 1 time a week. That's how scarce the food system got. At one point, the Singh said, Maharaj, hun sade ko bhukh nahi chal rahi. We can't take this hunger anymore. We'd rather go out and die and fight. Guru Kalgitar Pitaji said, this is Singho, ruk jo, wait a little bit longer. The Pahadi Raje and the Mughals, what they decided was they will make a plan. They'll use their religion, they'll use their faith as a basis to prove that they're innocent, and they won't harm the Guru. They won't harm Anandpur Sahib. The Pahadi Raje, they make a picture, they make an image of a cow using atta, using flour. They send the Gita, a holy book. The Mughals, Aurangzeb sends a hand-signed copy of the Quran. They bring it towards Maharaj, the Kaji and the Pandits from both sides. They bring it to Maharaj, they say, Maharaj, look, we swear upon our religion that we won't hurt you. But remember what I said? Tyranny doesn't have a faith. Oppression doesn't have a religion. Its only objective is to put down humanity. The Singhs and the Sangat in Anandpur Sahib, they said, Maharaj, ਦੇਖੋ ਵਿਚਾਰੇ ਭੋਲੇ ਮਨ ਹੈਗੇ ਆ, ਸਾਨੂੰ ਕਹਿ ਰਹੇ ਕਿ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਅਨੰਦਪੁਰ ਸਾਹਿਬ ਛੱਡ ਦਿਓ, ਵਾਪਸ ਆ ਜਿਓ ਤੇ ਆਪਾਂ ਤੁਹਾਨੂੰ ਕੁਝ ਨਹੀਂ ਕਹਿੰਦੇ। ਸੱਚੇ ਪਾਤਸ਼ਾਹ ਕਿਉਂ ਨਾ ਆਪਾਂ ਇਹਨਾਂ ਨੇ ਬੱਚਿਆਂ ਨੂੰ ਮੰਨ ਲੈਂਦੇ ਆ? Why don't we just agree to what they're saying? And the Guru said, you know what, I'll show you how fake they are. Guru Gobind Singh Ji Maharaj, to test the Mughals and the Pahadi Raje, they said that tonight we're going to leave Anandpur Sahib. But before I leave, I'm going to send out my khajana, my Keemti khajana first. The Pahadi Raja are like, yeah, that sounds like a good plan. The Mughals were like, theek hai, koi gal nahi Guru Sahib, aapa ko nahi kuch kande. So what did the Guru do? They took a bunch of traliyan, a bunch of cargoes. They filled it up with the most gand that they could find in Anandpur Sahib. They filled it up and they covered it with Ramale Sahibs to make it look like there's something keemti inside, to make it look like there's something very valuable inside this cargo, these trali. When they let those traliyan go from Anandpur Sahib, those people that said that we swear we won't touch you, those people jumped on those traliyan, they grabbed what they could. It was nighttime, they couldn't see what's inside, and they took it back to their tents. The next morning, when they opened those bags, they saw there was nothing inside there besides the dead animals that died in Anandpur Sahib, dirt, bones. There was nothing else inside there. But the Guru showed the Sangat that you can't trust these people. They're lying to you straight on. Eventually we know that Guru leaves Anandpur Sahib. And I'm only picking and placing different Sakhiya from this whole time period, because we can't cover the whole timeline. Guru Gobind Singh Maharaj, their Faujan, they leave Anandpur Sahib at midnight. As they walk out, it is now the month of Po, the month that starts today. As they walk out, they go, the enemy forces find out later on that the Guru left. They wake up and they start following the Guru. They reach Sarsa Nadi. At that point, there's a Vishoda, there's a separation between the whole family. Mata Gujri ji and the two Chote Sahibzade, they go in one direction. Guru Kalgitar Pitaji and the Singhs go in one direction. Bhai Mani Singh ji and the Matama, Mata Sai Devan ji and Mata Sundari ji, they go in a different direction. They all get divided at that point. But Sad Sangat ji, if there's a moral that we can learn from this Sakhi, the moral is this: that even if we get physically separated from the Guru, as long as the Guru's Shabad, the Guru's Bani sits within our hearts, we can never be separated. Ajo nere ajo, if you want the warmth of the thing. Sari aakho Vaheguru, Vaheguru. You guys want comfortable? Nere ajo jana. Vaheguru, 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 ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ 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 I want to tell you a Sakhi of a Shaheed. This was the first Shaheed of the Sikh Panth. This man, he stands in Arabistan, in Arabia. He has sand covered up all the way to his neck. He looks up and he sees a crowd around him. They have stones in their hands. They have stones in their hand. They're about to throw it at him. This man, in his eyes, if you were to look at his eyes, you would see a reflection in his eyes. The reflection you would see is of a sword. The reflection of you would see is a sword of Guru Kalgitar Pasha asking for a head. This man's name is Bhai Rukandeen. And he is the first Shaheed of the Khalsa Panth, of the Sikh Panth. Bhai Rukandeen met Guru Nanak Dev Ji. At that time, he was just called Qazi Rukandeen. I'm telling you this Sakhi because I want to show you the lineage of Shaheeds. How the Shaheeds of Guru Nanak Dev Ji's time connect to Guru Gobind Singh Ji's time. When Guru Nanak Dev Ji Pasha was on their Udasi, Maharaj had 4 Udasiyan. They traveled to the north, south, west and east of India. When they went to the west, towards Arab Desh, there they went to Makkah, a city. Within the Makkah, they went to the Kaaba, a very important religious site for the Islamic people. And there we know the story, they put their feet onto the Kaaba. There's a historian at that point that writes about this. His name is Tajuddin. Tajuddin writes a diary. And he says that I saw the Guru. I joined the Guru on his travels in Arab Desh. When he went to Makkah, he put his feet onto the Kaaba. I was scared. But I had full trust in the Guru. Then we know that someone named Jeevan comes. Jeevan picks up the feet of Guru Nanak. Vaheguru, Vaheguru, Vaheguru. Jeevan picks up the feet of Guru Nanak Dev Ji and he moves it. He says, who are you? Why are you sleeping like this? You are a kafir. You are a non-believer. Take your feet and move away from the house of God. Guru Nanak Dev Ji said, Palaya, tu hi daste ke Allah da ghar kithe hai? Why don't you put my feet where the house of God is not? Jeevan moves the feet of Guru Nanak Dev Ji. Every time he moves the feet of Guru Nanak Dev Ji, that Kaaba, that place started moving as well. Tajuddin writes, he says it was like if the Kaaba was longing for the feet of Guru Nanak Dev Ji. It was like the Kaaba wanted the charan turi of Guru Nanak Dev Ji. कि अल्लाह मैनू लोग कहते कि मैं अल्लाह का घर हाँ पर अज मेरा वड्डे भाग कि अल्लाह आप आ जाके घर विच आया. That people call me the house of God, but today God himself has come. आप नारायण कलातार जग मह परवरियो. Guru Nanak Dev Ji Maharaj himself comes into that land that people say is the house of God. When all this happens, this commotion happens, that someone has placed their feet onto the Kaaba and they've performed this type of magic trick. The head Qaji of that town, whose name was Rukandeen, is informed. Qaji Rukandeen comes. He sits with his elders, he sits with his council, and they make a fatwa. They make a royal decree, and they declare that this person should be killed. Qazi Rukunuddin now is going to walk towards Guru Nanak Dev Ji. Our Janam Sakhiyan are right. When Qazi Rukunuddin started to walk towards Guru Nanak, the people that are with him couldn't walk towards him. The people that are with Qazi Rukunuddin got stuck. It was like if the earth held their feet and wasn't allowing them to progress. Only Qazi Rukunuddin was allowed towards Guru Nanak Dev Ji. Tajuddin writes this in his diary as well. They say when Qazi Rukunuddin comes towards Guru Nanak, his heart starts shaking. The closer he gets to Guru Nanak Dev Ji, his heart shakes and shakes and shakes. Eventually he falls down at the feet of Guru Nanak Dev Ji uncontrollably. He can't control. He looks up and he says, "Are you Khuda? Are you God?" That night, Qazi Rukunuddin and Guru Nanak Dev Ji Maharaj had a Q&A. Qazi Rukunuddin asked 100 questions, 160 questions they write, and Guru Sahib answers them all night long. As the morning comes, the sun comes up, Guru Nanak Dev Ji looks at Qazi Rukunuddin and said, "Bhai Rukunuddin Ji, ਹੁਣ ਤੁਹਾਡਾ ਅਗਲਾ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਸਮਾਂ ਉਹ ਭਿਆਨਕ ਹੈ. Your next moments of time will be hard. Are you ready for it?" Qazi Rukunuddin said, "ਸੱਚੇ ਪਾਤਸ਼ਾਹ, ਜੇ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਮੈਨੂੰ ਥਾਪੜਾ ਦੇਵੋ, ਭਾਵੇਂ ਸੂਰਜ ਮੇਰੇ ਅੱਗੇ ਆ ਜੇ, ਮੈਂ ਤਿਆਰ ਹਾਂ." They said, "If you give me your thapda, I'll get ready to do anything." Guru Nanak Dev Ji Maharaj continues their travels. At that moment, Qazi Rukunuddin, the head of that city, the head Qazi, the head of all religious affairs, is called to the court of the other Qazis. And they say, "Palaya, apa tenu bhejya si, so go grab this person who's a non-believer. We told you to go grab this kafir. Tu aap kafir nikalya. You started worshipping this man. You bowed to his feet. We saw you. You sat with him all night long." Qazi Rukunuddin said, "Tanu kafir disega, minu khuda dis reha si. You see a non-believer, I see God." At that moment, Qazi Rukunuddin's family is kicked out of Arab Desh. All of his property is taken away from him. And this fatwa you can still find today. There's a man named Sayyid Pratipal Singh. He was a Muslim, he converted. He took Amrit. He's the one that found this diary in the library of Medina. The diary of Tajuddin. You can find it online. Qazi Rukunuddin, he's then told that you will be buried in hot sand and you will be stoned alive. But Qazi Rukunuddin knows something that these people don't know. When that Q&A was happening between Guru Nanak Dev Ji and Qazi Rukunuddin, Guru Nanak Dev Ji tells Qazi Rukunuddin, they say that, "Rukunuddin, a time will come when the Singhs will rule." They said, "Dili takht par bayegi, aap Guru ki fauj," that the Guru's fauj will take over so many different cities. That time will come when the Khalsa will do Raj. That bol bala that we know of Raj karega Khalsa, Aki rahe na koe, khwar hoye sab milenge, bache sharan jo hoye. That is from the Q&A between Qazi Rukunuddin and Guru Nanak Dev Ji, which was translated into Punjabi later on. Qazi Rukunuddin in his eyes, as he's being sanded up, as hot sand is being put up to his neck, he sees that scene that the Guru described to him. That one day, that Khalsa will be made. That one day, Anandpur Sahib di dharti will be made. That one day, Guru Kalgitar Pitaji will stand up in front of Sikh Sangat and ask for a head. He sees all this and he has bharosa that today my life will become successful to become a shaheed. Qazi Rukni looks at the people of Arab Desh and he says his last words. He said, I am not sad today of dying. I am sad that you cannot see the value of the Guru that I can see in my eyes. I am sad that you will never know who the Guru is. And Saad Sangat ji, ਜਦੋਂ ਆਪਾਂ ਕਥਾ ਵਿਚਾਰ ਸ਼ੁਰੂ ਕੀਤੀ ਸੀ, ਦਾਸ ਨੇ ਬੇਨਤੀ ਕੀਤੀ ਸੀ, ਗੁਰੂ ਦਾ ਹਿਰਦਾ ਬਹੁਤ ਵਿਸ਼ਾਲ ਹੈ, ਗੁਰੂ ਦਾ ਹਿਰਦਾ ਅਸੀਮ ਹੈ, ਸਾਡੀ ਸੋਚ ਸੀਮ ਹੈ, ਸਾਡੀ ਸੋਚ ਸੀਮਤ ਹੈ, ਪਰ ਗੁਰੂ ਦਾ ਹਿਰਦਾ ਅਸੀਮ ਹੈ. The Guru's heart has no ends, but our mind cannot grasp to understand who the Guru truly is. If you want to take a step towards the Guru, whatever step that may be, know that the Guru won't judge you. The Guru will take you in like their very own. Sare akho Vaheguru, 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 Vaheguru. The Sakhi of Pola Mihina is never ending. It will go on. Tomorrow you will hear more Sakhiyan from someone else. Parson you will hear from someone else. Next year you will hear again. These Sakhi are never ending. And it's important when we listen to these Sakhiyan, we imagine we're there for the very first time. Because these Sakhiyan, Babaniyan, Kahaniyan, Put Suput Karen. Guru Sahib says that these stories of our ancestors, they make us into men, they make us into women, they make us into Singhs and Kaurs that we are meant to be. Put Suput Karen. Suput means Change Bache. We all want to be Change Bache of the Guru, right? These Sakhi are meant to take us there. Even if you hear Sakhi, you heard it like 50 times before, you should never be like, oh, main ta Sakhi suni hui hai. You should be like, Chaawan ki Maharaj, ਤੁਹਾਡੀ ਸਾਖੀ ਫੇਰ ਸੁਣਨ ਨੂੰ ਮੌਕਾ ਮਿਲ ਰਿਹਾ, ਕਿਰਪਾ ਕਰੋ, ਸਾਨੂੰ ਉਹ ਦ੍ਰਿਸ਼ਟੀ ਬਖਸ਼ੋ. Give us that vision so we can see that Sakhi play out one more time. So Saad Sangat ji, as we conclude tonight, I want to sing that Shabad again. If you guys can close your eyes and chant along or chant after me, that would be amazing. Gurpura meri rakh lai, 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 Gurpura meri rakh lai. Amrit naam hriday mein deeno, Amrit जी अमृत नाम हृदय में दीनो, जन्म जन्म की मैल गई, जन्म जन्म की मैल गई, जन्म जन्म की मैल गई, जन्म जन्म ਗੁਰਪੁਰ ਮੇਰੀ ਰਾਖ ਲਈ, ਗੁਰਪੁਰ ਮੇਰੀ ਰਾਖ ਲਈ। ਸਾਧ ਸੰਗਤ ਜੀ, ਭੋਹ ਦੇ ਮਹੀਨੇ ਦੁਆਰਾ ਆਪਾਂ ਇਹ ਸਾਖੀ ਸੁਣੀ ਅੱਜ। ਅਰਦਾਸ ਕਰੋ ਕਿ ਸੱਚੇ ਪਾਤਸ਼ਾਹ ਜੋ ਹਿਰਦਾ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਆਪਣੇ ਸ਼ਹੀਦਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਬਖਸ਼ਿਆ, ਕਿਰਪਾ ਕਰੋ ਕਿਨਕ ਮਾਤਰ ਵੀ ਸਾਨੂੰ ਵੀ ਬਖਸ਼ ਲਓ ਕਿ ਆਪਾਂ ਵੀ ਤੁਹਾਡੀ ਸਿੱਖੀ ਕਮਾ ਸਕੀਏ। let's do ਅਰਦਾਸ ਕਿ ਸੱਚੇ ਪਾਤਸ਼ਾਹ, that gift you have given your shaheeds, the blessed Singhs of the Panth, please bless us with just a little bit of that fire into our hearts as well, so our janam can become safal. इतनी ही बेनती प्रवान करनी साध संगत जी। दास बोलदियाँ अनेक गलतियाँ हो गई होनी दास कोलों, आप जी सरकार जो माफ़ करना जी। आओ फतेह बुलाइए। वाहिगुरु जी का खालसा, वाहिगुरु जी बोले सत श्री अकाल। सत श्री अकाल। सत श्री अकाल।
ਜਗਰਾ ਜਾਵੇ ਨਿਹਾਲ ਹੋ ਜਾਵੇ, ਧੰਨ ਧੰਨ ਸ਼ਹੀਦ ਸਿੰਘਾਂ ਦੇ ਮਨ ਨੂੰ ਭਾਵੇ, ਫਤਿਹ ਪਾਵੇ।
ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ ਜੀ ਕਾ ਖਾਲਸਾ, ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ ਜੀ ਕੀ